Greetings and welcome back to the channel. We are in 2025. Now, 6 months ago, I did my first little room tour where these shelves you can see in my background here, they were completely empty. They didn't have anything on them. 6 months later, I thought I would begin the year by revisiting them to show you all what I put on the shelves. So let's go take a look. Right, we're back up in the Tower Studio, and just for starters, a little tease to what's to come. Do you remember in the previous video where all these shelves were stacked with the likes of the Doctor Who physical media and all the Blu-rays and DVDs that were along this bottom shelf? So it's been a big change, it really has. So let's start at the top. What do we have up there? We have a Star Wars Spider Droid, a absolutely humongous Godzilla, I believe that was on the floor last time we saw it in these videos. Rebel transport ship, that was downstairs. Millennium Falcon, yep, let's just pan up to all the Star Wars spaceships on the ceiling. If you haven't guessed already by the previous video, I am a bit of a Star Wars fan. So, moving on to the second shelf, we have a lot of Daleks that came in all those B&M sets that are actually really collectible and hard to come by. Now, you may notice how the front of that particular shelf is a little bit sparse at the moment. It's not organised in any fashion, and considering, just to have a bit of a self-reflection here, it's been 6 months since I had the big shift around into the new room. I really need to get that sorted. I mean, come on, Zak. What have you been doing with all this time? I'll show you. Let's look on the next shelf. So, wow. Looking at this shelf, we have an absolutely massive, and I mean massive, collection of collectible action figures. So, starting at this end, I seem to break it up in basically, I think, by like movies and stuff. You've got the Aliens and Predators along here, and then it moves off into some other territory. So we've got the Alien NECA figures here. Really cool Queen Alien figure. I managed to pick that up on eBay for a really big steal. I'm really thankful I took the punt on that one. Here we visit the what's he called? MacReady from The Thing. So that was actually a Christmas present from Jack, which I'm exceedingly grateful for. Ripley, got that from the Film and Sci-Fi Museum in Milton Keynes, which was quite cool last year. It was a good fun memory, good trip, and it was really nice to pick that up when I was there. I've got a couple of McFarlane Aliens and Predator figures there. Really nice AVP stuff. Another present from Jack. This is new. That's the Michael Myers action figure. Moving across, we're going to see somebody really large, and that is the NECA Edge 209 action figure. Wow, I really did not expect that one for Christmas. That was a really big surprise. Let's see if I can find the button that makes it talk. That'd be cool. Still going. Wow. It does talk, but maybe I can do another video on that can go through all its action phrases and things like that. But absolutely amazing figure. I was really stunned when I got that. I got the NECA Assassin Predator up there. A couple of werewolves. Puppet Master, of course. Moving on to Pacific Rim, which I'm actually quite sad that they discontinued that line of NECA figures, which I believe is a shame because they're actually quite hard to come by now. I managed to get Scanner for like £13, which was really a very big steal at the time. But the other ones, they can come few and far between on eBay, and they can be a bit. I can be a bit skeptical really when purchasing them because basically sometimes they can be duds, fakes, which you really don't want to pick up. So you've really got to look at that articulation in those photos. So again, moving on. We've got Aliens and Predator kind of stuff. Moving on to some of the Playmates Godzilla stuff over here in the corner. Now, what you will notice about this particular backdrop on this bottom shelf is it is populated by Laserdiscs. Now, Laserdiscs are a new physical media format that I have basically discovered whilst collecting physical media. I, at the moment, as of time of recording, have no means of playing them, but you just have to look at the artwork on the front of them to really understand just how cool they really are. They're massive discs. They're an analog format that basically requires a really hard to acquire Laserdisc player. They're the size of like vinyl. It's basically like handling a massive DVD. So maybe I should do in a future video basically a collection of all the Laserdiscs I've picked up in the last 6 months. I think that's a good idea. Couple more down here. And that's it. That's all I'm going to show you. That's all I'm going to show you in this room. So let's move on to the main event time of what I put on those big empty shelves. So ta-da! We have the main spectacle, the physical media paradise that I have put together, organised, and at the moment I am absolutely happy with the way it's looking. It looks absolutely fantastic. So if you cast your minds back to 6 months ago, last July, this space was completely and utterly empty. Now, all the stuff that was up in the first room has come down here, and vice versa. It's all had a nice shift around, and I'm really, really happy with how it's looking. So, if we go to the tour now, above the door we have some really cool Doctor Who action figures again. We have a load of big Finnish audio dramas. We then move across. We have some really, really cool Daleks. I really appreciate the amount of shelf space I've had to display those Daleks, because that is mightily impressive. So behind the Daleks themselves, we have a couple of TARDIS in the corner, of course. We have the DVD collection of Doctor Who, spanning the entire classic run all the way up to the end of Peter Capaldi over there in the corner. It does, of course, kind of move on into the Blu-rays. Now, you may ask why exactly I collect the DVDs as well as the Blu-rays. Now, let's consider this. As of time of recording, they are releasing the Season 7 Blu-ray collector's set, and you can see I've got all the limited edition ones over there in that corner stacked up nicely. Now, I grew up basically watching the DVDs all the way through. I've got all the DVDs you could possibly get to do with Doctor Who. And essentially, I just absolutely love them. I really can't see a reason at the current time to get rid of them, because you just look at that spine alignment. I know it's a bit cheesy, but it just looks so cool lined up on a shelf. I mean, come on. Now, above them, you've got, again, the big Finnish audio dramas all lined up rather nicely. Now, at the time, I really didn't expect to get the big Finnish audio dramas all in here, because space was kind of a bit challenging to deal with, but based upon the way it looks, I think I did an awfully good job of it, because just look at that, look at that. You could basically sit in this room for hours and never run out of new things to watch and do. It's just fantastic. Okay, moving on to this is very much the Doctor Who portion of this particular video. More Blu-rays, of course, audio dramas, steelbooks, character options figures, Drashig over there, another Dalek. Just because we're moving across now, we've got all those fantabulous board games. You may notice that the Hero Quest pile has increased, and that is because Christmas time, I was very thankful to receive the Jungles of Deathrack Hero Quest expansion, and it is marvellous. It is absolutely fantastic. If you haven't played Hero Quest, I would highly, highly recommend it. Onto the physical media, all the movies and stuff. Here is more of a generic kind of shelf that's got the 4Ks over in that corner we'll get to in a bit, but just going across the front first, we have Dawn of the Dead 4K limited edition. Crazy thing about this particular box set is the fact that it comes with a book inside it. That's absolutely insane. A book of the movie, a novel. Wow. It just goes above and beyond that particular box set. But it does take up a lot of space, which is why it is currently perched on the front of the shelf. So moving across, surprisingly, more neck figures, this time Godzilla, all the way through all of the eras of the Godzilla franchise, which is actually rather cool. Let's not forget, shout out to Turbo Man from Jingle All the Way. Great figure. Let's see if it works still.
It's turbo time!
It does. Excellent. So we have all of these Blu-rays. I'm going to be basically passing over them. Please feel free to pause if you wish to take a little sneaky peek, because I was thinking about doing a full collection video of all my Blu-rays. So if that's something you would be interested in watching, then I will happily put that together for you. So moving on to the 4K section of the shelf, I actually had a little count up of all the physical media I've actually got. Now, I think I've got about 120 4Ks if they're added up collectively. So if I put that to the number of actual movies I have a grand sum at the current time of 2,220, I believe. I can check that for a future video, if I get my teeth in. So here we are with the Steelbook collection. Very nice. Thing though with that is, if I get any more, I am very much gonna have to have a bit of a rejuggle. Just spotted this thing up here. Let's move this wonderful Dalek. So there we have my pile of cinema tickets. Now, the thing about cinema tickets, I love to actually put those inside the boxes, the physical media boxes of the movies that I've gone to see at the cinema, because I think as soon as you open that box, it kind of springs that memory to mind, and for good or bad, I think that's a good thing to do. It's a very nice thing to do, and it also like jogs your memory once in a while for fun times you've had. Now, I did do a review on that Q-Figs Big Trouble in Little China figure. Now, I do realise that it has been some time since I did that, but I do have a second one that is still in box, which is an absolute crime at the moment, that, you never know, I might be able to sort out in a future video. So here, a really exciting part of the collection is the Arrow video section. Across the top we have 4Ks, and then beneath we have a load of the Blu-ray box sets, and then the individual Blu-rays behind the great Shawscope Volume 1, 2 and 3 sets that are also available for an unboxing if you should require. Moving across to here, we have the 88 Films collection. We here have the Vault collection, 1 to 12. Oh, I'm missing 11. I need to get 11. And then the 88 Films Asia collection, starting at Hex, going all the way along to Flying Guillotine Part 2. Now, Shadowboxing is release 42, so there's a couple there that I am actually missing, so I will have to pick those up at some point, because I think it's actually a really, really cool collection, because there's some actually really good movies in here. It's a very good introduction to like the martial arts scene for those that are new to it, and of course some Japanese horror films as well, which are obviously very lesser known here in the UK. Continuing with the 88 Films collection, we have Slasher Classics collection, got a couple of those, Italian collection, got a few more of those, and then just some generic titles there in the corner. HMV Premium collection, Indicator Blu-ray collection. I have previously done videos on those if you want to go digging around the Zak Wylde Productions channel. And then we have some more 88 Films in the corner. Moving on to the final and penultimate piece of this particular video, it is the Godzilla corner. There's a Godzilla Godzilla corner. That's hilarious. Here we have a couple of Mezco Godzilla figures along the bottom. The really large, another one with that voice activation and stuff. Where's the button? So cool. Basically, that is literally the only sound it makes, but I love it. It's from 2014 Godzilla movie. I've been slowly collecting the Region 1 Blu-rays of the Godzilla Heisei era. You might be able to notice that I've got a couple of Godzilla vs. Biolantes there, which is an interesting story that I'll save for another video. But basically, so far so good with the collecting in this room. I have certainly utilised the space effectively. I would say it's very equally distributed. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with the way it's turned out these last few months, and I can't wait to basically add some more to the collection. Obviously, we just had Christmas, and maybe there's another video there, a little bit of a tease for you, and I look forward to sharing what additions I have in the physical media collection as soon as I can, really. So if you have any questions about my physical media collecting habits or anything that you would like to ask me, I will happily do a video on them if you fancy it. And I will see you, ladies and gentlemen, in the next video.